Hello and welcome to our show where we dissect the weird and wonderful corners of the world, one fact at a time. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of the Caribbean, a land of salsa, cigars, and vintage cars frozen in time, Cuba. This ain't your average travel brochure, folks. You think you know Cuba? Wait till you hear these facts. From baffling currency conundrums to surprisingly literate canines, get ready to have your preconceptions well and truly mojitoed. Picture this. The sun setting over Havana's iconic Malecón, casting a golden hue over the city's vibrant streets. The rhythm of Cuban music fills the air, and the streets come alive with the energy of dance and celebration. And let's not forget the food. From street vendors to gourmet restaurants, Cuban cuisine is a feast for the senses. Art is everywhere, from the colorful murals that adorn the buildings to the local artists who bring their unique visions to life. It's a place where community and family are at the heart of everything, where every day is a celebration of life. So whether you're a history buff, a foodie, or just someone looking for an unforgettable adventure, Cuba has something for everyone. Stay tuned as we uncover the hidden gems and surprising facts that make Cuba a destination like no other. Bienvenidos a Cuba. All right, let's kick things off with a real head-scratcher. Imagine strolling down the street ready to buy a delicious Cuban sandwich, only to be hit with not one, but price tags. That's right, folks. Cuba has not one, but two official currencies, the Cuban peso cup, used mainly by locals, and the Cuban convertible peso, CUC, preferred by tourists. Now you'd think having two currencies would make things, twice as simple. But no, this is economics, baby, where logic goes to die. You practically need a PhD in advanced calculus just to figure out if you're getting a fair deal on a cup of coffee. It's enough to make you want to tear your hair out, or at least start demanding your tips in cigars. And just when you think you've got it all figured out, someone comes along and tells you that the exchange rate has changed again. So whether you're buying a sandwich or a souvenir, always double-check those price tags. Because in Cuba, double the currency doesn't always mean double the fun. Now let's talk about something that truly sets Cuba apart, its literacy rate. You see, in a world where millions struggle to read, Cuba boasts a staggering literacy rate of over 99%. That's right, folks. Practically everyone on this island nation can read, write, and probably recite Shakespeare while salsa dancing. I mean, we're talking levels of literacy so high, even the stray dogs in Havana are rumored to be leafing through Hemingway novels in their spare time. Okay, that last part might be a slight exaggeration, but you get the point. Cuba takes education seriously, and the results speak for themselves. The Cuban government has invested heavily in education since the Revolution, ensuring that every citizen has access to quality schooling. From early childhood education to adult literacy programs, the emphasis on learning is evident everywhere you look. And it's not just about traditional reading and writing. Cuban schools are incorporating technology and interactive methods to keep students engaged. The holistic approach to education ensures that students are well-rounded and prepared for the future. So, next time you think about literacy, remember that in Cuba, it's not just a skill, it's a way of life. And speaking of hitting it out of the park, let's talk about Cuba's national sport, baseball. Now, you might be thinking, baseball? That's America's pastime. And you wouldn't be entirely wrong. But in Cuba, baseball isn't just a game. It's practically a religion. They eat, sleep, and breathe baseball. They even dream in double plays and stolen bases. I'm pretty sure if you cut a Cuban open, they wouldn't bleed. They'd just leak rum and yell, "Strike three." But it's not just the love of the game that makes Cuban baseball so special. These guys can play. We're talking legendary players, fiery rivalries, and enough talent to make even the most jaded Yankees fan weep with envy. So, if you ever find yourself in Cuba and you hear the crack of a bat and the roar of the crowd, swing by. Just try not to get beamed by a stray ball or a celebratory cigar, for that matter. The passion for baseball runs deep in Cuba, and it's a sight to behold. From dawn till dusk, the fields are alive with the sound of the game. Coaches and players alike are dedicated to honing their skills, and the fans, they're some of the most passionate you'll ever meet. So next time you're in Cuba, don't miss out on experiencing this baseball mania firsthand. And if you thought navigating two currencies was a trip, just wait until you hear about the media landscape. You see, in Cuba, the media is, shall we say, curated by the government. Think of it like a state-sponsored playlist, but instead of music, it's news. And instead of skipping, you just nod politely. Now, I'm not saying that Cuban news is inaccurate, but let's just say they have an interesting relationship with time. It's entirely possible that you'll hear about tomorrow's events today. I guess that's one way to stay ahead of the curve, or at least ahead of the news cycle. The Cuban media landscape is a fascinating blend of tradition and control. While the government ensures the narrative stays on track, the people find ways to stay informed and connected. It's a delicate balance between state control and public curiosity. And in this dance of information, the Cuban spirit shines through. So next time you read a Cuban newspaper or watch the news, remember you're not just getting the news, you're experiencing a unique blend of culture, control, and creativity. And that's what makes the Cuban media landscape so intriguing. Now, let's talk about something everyone loves, vintage cars. And no, I'm not talking about your friend's meticulously maintained '67 Mustang. I'm talking about Cuba, where stepping into a car is like stepping back in time. Picture this: cobblestone streets, vibrant buildings, and cruising alongside you, a pristine Chevrolet Bel Air straight out of the 1950s. It's like Havana is stuck in a time warp, and frankly, I'm not sure they want to escape. These cars are more than just transportation. They're a testament to Cuban ingenuity and resourcefulness, because when you can keep a car running for decades with nothing but spare parts and sheer willpower, you deserve a round of applause. Or maybe just a really good mechanic. Tourists flock to see these rolling pieces of history, each car with its own unique story. The interiors are just as fascinating, with old-fashioned dashboards and steering wheels that tell tales of a bygone era. Cuban car owners take immense pride in their vehicles, often spending hours polishing and maintaining them. Imagine driving along the Malecón at sunset, the sea breeze in your hair and the rumble of a classic engine beneath you. Vintage car rallies are a common sight, where enthusiasts showcase their meticulously restored beauties. It's a generational love affair, with families passing down their cherished cars from one generation to the next. These cars are more than just vehicles. They're symbols of Cuban culture and history, rolling reminders of a resilient spirit. So there you have it, 5 surprising facts about Cuba that might just make you want to pack your bags and grab a mojito. Just remember, when exchanging your money, maybe bring an abacus, just in case. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other fascinating facts you've discovered about Cuba. I'm off to brush up on my Spanish and find a good travel agent who can book me a flight in a '57 Chevy. But before I go, let's take a moment to appreciate the vibrant culture and history of this beautiful island. From the lively music festivals to the stunning beaches, Cuba offers a unique experience that you won't find anywhere else. The rich history, the warm people, and the colorful streets all contribute to its charm. And let's not forget the delicious food. Whether it's a classic Cuban sandwich or a refreshing mojito, the flavors of Cuba are sure to delight your taste buds. So, what are you waiting for? Start planning your trip to Cuba today and immerse yourself in all that this incredible country has to offer. Until next time, see you in Cuba.